As the title says, justice. Do as you would be done by. This reading is for Tuesday, 8/11/26. You are special. Trust yourself. The day of validation. The four main cards that I'll be reading are the justice. Do as you would be done by. The moon. Appearances can be deceptive. The star. Somewhere over the rainbow. And the ace of swords. The pen is mightier than the sword. This is, I had to get some rest. My blood pressure is up and my head is hurting. So I'm gonna try to read through this because I don't like to be behind. I still haven't did today's energy. We're gonna start this reading off with the Ten of Wands, carrying the weight of the world. Overwhelmed and overburdened, under pressure. What began as a good ideal in the ace has now become a burden to the man carries on his back. Let's start this over. What began as a good ideal in the ace has now become a burden the man carries on his back. All the wands gained from his experience throughout the journey are now weighing him down as he awkwardly tries to support them all. The 10 brings completion of the suit, and although he works long into the night, he marches determinedly onward towards the rising dawn. The Ten of Wands suggests carrying a heavy load or too much of something. You may feel overwhelmed or overburdened by a situation, and this can be in any area of life. In career matters, it may show overworking, a burnout situation, pressures of work, or an avalanche of work and arriving. So, not necessarily bad in that instance if managed correctly. In the home, it can represent feeling as though you have too many responsibilities. And in relationships, it may suggest that you're feeling under pressure or a heavy going situation. And in finances, it could indicate being weighed down by material matters. This card can act as a reminder to delegate and find balance, and that successful endeavors also bring more responsibilities. Reversed or challenging aspects. The Ten of Wands reverse can bring more pressure and additional stress to the matter and suggests a worsening situation, an uphill battle, drudgery, futile efforts. Some see this reverse card as the release from said burdens. So, justice. Do as you would be done by. Legal matters, blinded mind. Justice wears a blindfold, representing impartiality, and the scales sit balanced as she weighs the evidence. The double-edged sword of truth can cut both ways, for and or against. Furthering symbols also suggest balance from the astrology sign of Libra, and the yin yang symbol to the light that emanates from both her right and her left hand channeled into the sun, representing the self. So justice represents balance, and although more of the rational and logical variety, using the intellectual mind rather than emotions, it suggests that you will need to weigh up the facts with a balanced mind in order to come to a decision. That is fair and reasonable. For all concerned. Legal matters can be represented by this card, and it can indicate a ruling upon a matter falling in favor of the rightful side. If you're waiting for an outcome to a legal situation, it implies that justice will be delivered and the decision received should be fair and just. This card can cover all types of legal situations, so official and legally binding contracts, arguments, and documents would also be relevant. Reversed or challenging aspects can indicate a legal ruling that doesn't fall in your favor. Feeling a sense of injustice or a rescinded contract. Depending upon context and any neighboring cards, it can show a miscarriage of justice, a cover up, or corruption. Imbalances and bias may be suggested. So, the Queen of Cups. Love is truth. Fear is illusion. Gentle natured, compassionate, a beautifully adorned queen loosely holds flowers in one hand and her golden cup in the other, but it doesn't hold her attention as she casts a faraway gaze. The ocean is visible from the finery of her balcony and suggesting the sea of her emotions while two small dogs look on, indicating sweetness and devotion. The Queen of Cups represents someone who is good natured and mild mannered, usually softly spoken with a kind and gentle disposition, thoughtful and compassionate. They feel things deeply, so they may be at the mercy of their emotions. And they can be very sensitive and take things to heart. Being strongly attuned, their empathetic nature serves them well in caring, healing, and nurturing roles. They can be romantic and may satisfy this expression through creativity or the arts, but may be prone to seeing the world through rose tinted glasses. They don't like to rock the boat, so they can be submissive or passive aggressive. The sweet tempered Queen of Cups feels ill equipped to deal with the harsher side of life. And in divination, the Queen of Cups indicates a mature adult, traditionally female, of course. It can represent someone with the astrological sun sign of Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Reverse the challenging aspects, possible dependency issues, and over reliance on others. Saturn can be gullible, sulky, childish, and insecure, or not averse to emotional blackmail. Some see the reverse card to suggest someone detached from their emotions, cold and unfeeling. Oh, wow. So, with the Queen of Cups comes the Emperor. Life is what you make it. Leadership and authority, responsibility, structure, and stability. Structure and stability, I say. The Emperor dominates the scene as he rises above and surveys his domain, showing one in control and command. He stands in front of the zodiac wheel, suggesting mastery and rule over all. Aries sit above his head, a symbol of leadership with fiery passion. The scrolls indicate important affairs of state as he plans and governs for the benefit of a stable society. The emperor represents leadership and authority with good reasoning skills and calm rationale to help forge structure and bring stability to situations. An area of life may require you to step forward and take the reins with a sense of purpose and mature responsibility to be in control and in command of the situation. This card can place you in a good position to achieve your ambitions by adopting similar qualities and stepping into your power. It can suggest successful endeavors and promotions or positions of responsibility may be heightened, and sometimes it can represent those in powerful positions as higher authorities of the land, the leaders and the rule makers of society. And in relationships, it can and may suggest taking a head over heart approach or favoring logic over emotions, but it can also help to bring stability. So, reversed or challenging aspects can become domineering or tyrannical, self important or drunk on power, or ego out of control. Ambitions may fail to become realized. Authority is weakened and leadership is under threat. Secure structures and situations become unstable. So, the moon has appeared. Appearances can be deceptive. Uncertainty, illusions, and unknown factors, secrecy. A mechanical device appears to frame or project the moon onto a globe, creating an optical illusion. Set between two pillars, the moon dominates the scene in a twilight sky, suggesting an intermediate and changeable state. The creatures respond to their natural instincts, and the crab emerges from the ocean of the subconscious, representing the shadowy aspects of the unknown. The moon can represent illusionary situations, possible deceptions through veiled activity, and feelings of uncertainty due to unknown factors that cause confusion. Emotions are highly charged and fluctuating, similar to the ebb and flow of the tides from the gravitational pull of the moon, which can create a sense of instability. It can warn against jumping to conclusions, as the light of the moon can create illusions, shapes in the shadows that are not what they seem. There's usually more to a situation than first meets the eye, so wait until the situation has revealed itself, as it will in due course. The mystical associations of the moon can represent dreaming becoming more vivid as the subconscious reveals itself, and intuition may be heightened. But care will be needed due to the illusionary nature. Reversed or challenging aspects can intensify the less favorable aspect, such as delusion, hallucinations, and paranoia. Being switched off from reality, trippy deception, smoke and mirrors, or concealment may suggest something dissipating and on the wane. Judgment. Your day will come. Revival and resurrection, release and renewal. From the heavens, an angelic herald calls forth all souls that rise up and are resurrected for the great awakening and liberation of Judgment Day. Judgment brings resurrection and revival of something from the past as you stand at a pivotal crossroad in your life. This reawakening presents the opportunity to face a past situation, to renew and learn a valuable lesson from what has gone before in order to wipe the slate clean before moving forward and making a fresh start. It can liberate you from a past aspect to bring release and renewal. Something that has been laying dormant may spring back to life, providing a second chance to breathe new life into it so it can be resurrected and born anew. It can indicate reconciliation in a relationship or an old project being revived. Whatever is under review will hold some previous history. But this occasion can allow you to course correct and move things forward with rightful action. Judgment always brings something back around for a revisit. And whilst there can be a sense of deja vu, it brings rebirth. Reversed or challenging aspects can indicate being stuck in a pattern due to denial or refusing to examine and deal with a past issue. Feelings unable to move past something and let go in order to accept a new situation and circumstances may suggest self-doubt. It can revive an old problem if any neighboring cards to the upright are challenging. So the Six of Pentacles. There's more happiness in giving than in receiving. Generosity, gifts, and sharing. Charity. A finely attired nobleman balances two golden pentacles on a set of scales as he dispenses the remaining four towards outstretched hands. He appears to hold enough for himself and shares the remainder with others. The Six of Pentacles is the card of the generous benefactor and can represent charitable gifts or someone acting benevolently towards you. So gifts of all descriptions can be indicated. Others may look upon you favorably at this time, being helpful and supportive, opening doors or bestowing favors that can be beneficial to you. This card usually represents generosity being received by you, but in turn, this may allow you to also share with others. On a literal level, it can indicate the flow of giving and receiving, both on an emotional level, such as in a relationship, or connected to monetary transactions and a share out taking place. In business matters, it can indicate a charitable organization or an angel investor. Do I have any angels in the room? Because I wouldn't mind giving out my cash app. I'm doing a lot over here. Hmm. Hmm. So let me continue. In business matters, it can indicate a charitable organization or an angel investor. At work, it may suggest a nice bonus or reward as generous perks from your employer. Financial imprisonment is usually indicated. Reversed or challenging aspects can suggest a reluctance to accept help or charity from others, a lack of appreciation for generosity given or received, and alternatively, it may show a one sided arrangement or one that holds ulterior motives. So be wary of gifts that may have conditions attached. The star, somewhere over the rainbow. Hope and healing, improving circumstances, inspiration. Under the gentle light of 8 stars, a naked woman gently pours illuminated water from 2 vessels into the calm pool of the subconscious. Nakedness suggests truth and purity. The ancients looked to the stars for navigation, and a compass has 8 points representing guidance. The star on her forehead may suggest inspired thoughts. The star is the card of hope. It brings a sense of optimism and tells you to have faith, safe in the knowledge that better times lies ahead. Its beautiful aspect means it is always a welcome sight in any situation, and it reminds you to believe in yourself. It brings inspired thought with a renewed vision for the future, and your plans showing promise under the light of the stars. For some, it may be literal, placing you in the spotlight and allowing you to shine. The calm and gentle energy of this lovely card can bring healing to any situation. It indicates improved circumstances for your general well-being or health matters. It can reinvigorate relationships and help to heal rifts and suggest harmonious living conditions, especially if times have been tough of late. So reversed or challenging aspects, the star reverse can suggest a lack of faith, losing hope, or feeling down and discouraged or world weary. And when the upright card is followed by less favorable aspects, it can show a temporary reprieve before challenges return. So the magician has appeared. The power of commitment, applying active intentions, self mastery, and skills. The magician displays the mastery of his skill as he suspends the symbols of the four suits before him. The lemniscate displayed on his third eye and repeated across the suspended elements suggests his ability to control all the forces through focused will. A bright light emanates above as he makes the divine link between heaven and earth to bring forth the manifestation of matter. The magician reminds you that you have all of the skills and the ability required to handle something well and bring about a successful conclusion. You will need to apply yourself with concentrated and focused will to the task at hand in order to succeed. Whilst you may have the potential needed to manifest your aims, you'll need to actively work with all the tools at your disposal to bring about the desired result. The magician isn't a card of wishful thinking, but one of using initiative and taking action with a single minded purpose and the clear intention to utilize your capability. The magician demonstrates the power you already hold within and the potential to direct and transform that energy through self mastery. So, reverse the challenging aspects when reversed, or with challenging aspects. The magician can turn into a cunning trickster. It warns of misusing abilities or manipulating a situation with less honorable intentions. Scattered energy that's out of control and ineffective, lacking skills and willpower, delays and blocks, or communication problems. The Ace of Wands, thinking out of the box. New venture or project, whole new way of life. An ornate and blazing wand is suspended in the heavens, a gift from the divine. A pair of hands fervently reaches towards it, and readiness to grasp the opportunity and ignite the creative action of human endeavor. All the aces indicates a new beginning as relevant to their suit and element. The Ace of Wands brings action and enterprise and holds the potential for a dynamic new venture or project. This exhilarating fresh start brings plenty of movement into the picture and suggests that you will be all fired up and buzzing with excitement. In work matters, it suggests a new opportunity, endeavors, or creative projects that's surrounded by energy and enthusiasm. You may feel inspired with fresh ideas and ready to ignite actions. When connected to situations regarding home and family, it can indicate the start of a whole new way of life. And sometimes this may be quite literal in suggesting a new life, like pregnancy. The Ace of Wands can add sparks of passion to existing relationships, and when connected to a new relationship, it may represent a fiery and passionate romance. So, reversed or challenging aspects are difficulty getting new things, new plans off the ground, ideas that lack direction and implementation, spinning your wheels, delays and false starts, lack of motivation and feeling uninspired. In the right context, it can sometimes indicate um, impo- impotence or challenges with fertility matters. The Ace of Swords. The pen is mightier than the sword. Triumph over adversity, fresh new start. An embellished sword sits in the heavens, representing the air element in the realm of the mind. It is drawn from the starboard, ready and waiting for the action of battle. The white dove is symbolic as the divine messenger of peace, and the sword's inscription, a bond joyet, means with good reason in French, so it may refer to rightful action of the higher mind. The Ace of Swords represents a great force of strength and inner power, showing that you have the ability to overcome setbacks and come up triumph or trumps. In order to do so, you will need to apply clarity to thoughts and act decisively. This is a card of victory and triumph that sets you on the path of a fresh new start and usually gained. So rude, I know. But I pushed myself to do this reading. I didn't want it to go past. So this card of victory and triumph that sets you on the path of a fresh new start and usually gained through your own actions. Your success will be well deserved. Whatever challenges you may be facing, the Ace of Swords indicates a powerful force available at your disposal, which will allow you to triumph over adversity. Wield this power wisely with rightful action and from a higher mindset. Reverse or challenging aspects. Guard against aggressive or vengeful behavior in the pursuit of your aims, as it can lead to defeat and failure. Self sabotage or self destructive tendencies that hinder and undermine progress. Fighting something you can't win against. Overpowering source forces. A false start due to scattered thinking without a clear strategy. So the Page of Coins. Your reputation goes before you. Financial news. A placid child. A young page dressed in house colors of green and gold presents a large golden pentacle. To the viewer, of course, the peacock at their side is a symbol of wealth and prosperity. The Page of Pentacles indicates news and messages of a financial nature or concerning material affairs, usually news you are pleased to receive. Dependent upon the situation and surrounding cards, for some, this page may bring news regarding scholastic and or educational matters, such as study courses, scholarships, or academic placement. When representing a child, the Page of Pentacles is solid and dependable with a steady and methodical nature. Those who are academically minded may feature, although some are more inclined towards practical skills where they excel with manual dexterity. They tend to be grounded and level headed with a placid nature, but can be obstinate with a fixed mindset. As a facet of personality, the pages are young at heart with an open enthusiasm, but also a naivety that is yet to mature. As relative to the qualities of the suit, can represent minors with astrological sun signs of the earth element, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Reversed or challenging aspects may indicate unfavorable news concerning finances or material affairs. An immature attitude towards finances, when representing a young person, it can take on less favorable aspects, signifying a lackadaisical attitude, lack of motivation or ambition, or sloppy and careless effort. So the Four of Swords, all work and no play, makes you dull. Rest and recovery, retreat, consolidation. A knight takes rest from recent battles, symbolized by the three swords displayed between the banners. He retains his armor as the fourth sword remains close to hand, suggesting a pause in proceedings before continuing. The Four of Swords represents rest and recovery, taking time to recharge your batteries after a period of stress and strain. You may feel fatigued and slightly detached from outside events, experiencing a need to retreat and replenish energy reserves. For some, it can represent a period of respite, recuperation, or convalescence in relations to health and well-being. In business matters or financial affairs, it may suggest consolidation in order to strengthen your position, especially if there has been a fallow period or a pause in activity. A period of regeneration may be required in order to take stock, regroup, and regather material resources before continuing onward. In relationships, the Four of Swords can show withdrawal or pulling back from a situation, so it may indicate taking time out for some breathing space. I know I can't. Reverse the challenging aspects. The Four of Swords reverse can indicate picking up the baton and a gradual return to activities, suggesting a slow recovery. Some see the reverse card as the inability to gain some rest, even though it is desired. Conversely, other accounts view it as a period of imposed isolation and loneliness rather than voluntary undertakings. So the strength card is here. Inner strength will always win over outer strength. So inner strength, fortitude, and endurance. A woman with a serene expression purposefully travels with a male lion obediently subdued beside her. Lions are associated with courage and a symbol of strength. She holds a chain loosely around the lion's neck as they walk in unison in a dignified manner. Her gentle nature has tamed the nature of the beast and its animal instincts. The strength card indicates inner strength and shows you have the ability to draw upon a deep well of resolve and quiet determination when faced with challenges or difficult situations. It suggests patience and diplomacy when dealing with something or someone, and that using sensitivity in a gentle manner as opposed to brute force or aggression will be beneficial at this time. Strength represents your inner power, the storehouse of fortitude and courage held deep within its available to you. It provides you with resilience, the ability to deal with whatever lands your way, and to endure with dignity and good grace. It can also indicate having self control and a good command over your emotions and base instincts to keep everything in check. So, reverse the challenging aspect, strength reverse, can indicate a lack of perseverance and resolve, being faint-hearted, weak-willed, or a martyr to something. And alternatively, it may suggest being too forceful or aggressive and failing to control emotional instincts. When upright and followed by a challenging card, it may suggest a worsening situation where best efforts prove futile. So the death card has appeared. All things must come to an end, or all things must come to pass. Endings and closures, major change and transformation. An armored skeleton faces us head on, as though ensuring we must confront it. The banner holds the white rose of purity and light, and the shield depicts a white rose, often linked to the gods and a symbol of strength and power. The death card brings closure to a situation and an ending that will usher in major change, whereby an area of life will be transformed as a result. To benefit from change, we need to remain open to it and recognize that through every life experience, we have been given the opportunity for major growth on some level. The death card can release us from those things that no longer serve us, but we continue to cling to because we fear of change. In doing so, we deny ourselves new opportunities that await. And throughout the course of our lives, we encounter many death card experiences, as without them, there will be no change and no new beginnings. It heralds the end of one phase of life to make way for a new one. This card may present itself for someone experiencing the grieving process, but the initial interpretation is normally figurative or rarely literal. However, reversed in challenging aspects, the death card reverse can indicate a refusal to let go and move on from an ending, being in denial that something is over, resistance to change, a slow decline and prolonged ending, or a stagnating situation. The Two of Swords. Why do today what you can put off till tomorrow? Stalemate, conflicting thoughts, analyst paralysis. Shrouded by clouds, a blindfolded face emerges in the sky, suggesting disconnection and clouded thoughts. In front of the moon, two swords are crossed and suspended in the air, unmoving and perfectly poised, awaiting action. The two of swords symbolizes a stalemate situation or one in which a deadlock exists. So something could stall and nothing is moving. In relationship matters, it can suggest that a standoff has developed. You may feel that you need to make a decision yet are unable to move one way or another due to conflicting thoughts and being in two minds, creating analysis paralysis. It may be that you're procrastinating over something or feel as though you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. So you remain sitting on the fence, which creates a gridlock situation. And although you could feel blinded by a situation, you need to look at the matters objectively and logically so you can make a decision. You must take action in order to break the deadlock and make progress. Reversed or challenging aspects, the Two of Swords reversed may indicate being in denial and refusing to see it. Some see the reverse card as an action taken, although not necessarily with a beneficial outcome. If the upright card is followed by unfavorable or challenging card, it may show that inaction or a lack of movement leads to an undesirable consequence. Oh, my cards came up upright, so I hope I'm not in reverse, but I sure feel like I'm in reverse. So the meditation card for today, and you guys can take it how it resonates. This reading, because it's really on my energy. I pulled for my journaling, entertainment purposes. I use tarot for guidance. Okay. So the meditation card is the Page of Pentacles. Your reputation goes before you. I've already read that, so I'm going to continue on. But it does talk about financial news and the placid child. So, the sun, seeing the light. I will read that. Shining success, happiness, and contentment. The radiant sun dominates zones within our solar system and orbit of the planets. The zodiac wheel reflects its influence upon us all, as its gravitational force and magnetic field holds the cosmos together in perfect order. The journey of the planets is mapped across the heavens, with everything in its rightful place. The sun is an active energy of conscious mind and physical plane. The sun is one of the most positive cards in the deck, as it brings happiness and shining success to every situation. Everything responds to the warmth of the sun and its life-giving qualities. It brings a general joie de vivre to life and circumstances with a revitalizing energy that can add a spring to your step. The radiance of the sun bestows many blessings to whichever area of life it touches. This could be a joyful contentment in marriage and relationship, happiness and family life, restored vitality to health and well-being, success and achievement in your projects and career endeavors, and improvement to prosperity in material matters. Life is good. However, reversed or challenging aspects, the sun is one of the few cards that retains a similar effect to the upright card when reversed, just slightly less so. However, if the upright card is followed by one that is challenging, it would tend to diminish the favorable qualities and show a downturn to positive events. So, we've come to the final stage. The main reading is the Justice spread. Unfortunately, there are 9 cards that was drawn for this spread. This Justice spread, do as you would be done by, has 9 questions for each card pulled. Card number 1. Let me get it ready. My needs. What is my desired outcome? What do I want out of this situation? The Ace of Pentacles. Keeping both feet firmly on the ground. Prosperous new beginnings. Important financial papers. A regal stag supports a golden pentacle towards the heavens, displaying the bounty of a divine gift. populated by busy reproductive creatures. The fertile setting suggests abundant and prosperous conditions. The Ace of Pentacles represents the potential for prosperity and material gains with a new beginning that can provide good financial rewards. It brings the divine gift of a material opportunity, the start of the journey that holds great promise. The outcome will rely upon your attentive efforts as you plant your seeds for future endeavors. This ace provides a good foundation upon which to build something solid and secure for the future, and this may be in any area of life, including relationships, where it can add a stabilizing and grounding influence. It may suggest that something you're cultivating has the capacity for security and abundance. Important documents of a material nature or that hold a financial connection can be relevant, such as house deeds and contracts, work or business agreements, education certificates, legacies or wills, and even marriage certificates. Traditionally, it represents gifts of gold. Reversed or challenging aspects, the Ace of Pentacles reversed can indicate a mismanaged or wasted financial opportunity, material instability, and insecurity or materialistic outlook that brings dissatisfaction. If the upright card has challenging aspects following, then it may represent a short lived or false start, one that fails to take root. Card number two, their needs. Remember, it's two sides to the justice. Their needs. What is their desired outcome? What do they want out of this situation? And I am so shocked, but it doesn't surprise me. They want me in the hermit energy, the quiet life. Well, it's a very beneficial card, it is, because that's what I'm already in, that energy. I'm in the energy of wisdom, introspection, and contemplation. Dressed in simple robes, the hermit leans upon his staff as he holds forth a lantern to illuminate his path. Amidst the backdrop of a night sky, the solitary path appears to be at a great height as he contemplates the snake before him, which forms the infinity symbol. His age, lantern, and elevation suggest heightened and illuminated wisdom. The hermit can represent a time of deep thought and contemplation, withdrawal from the outside world in order to reflect and find inner wisdom. It can suggest that you need some quiet time for introspection in order to access the answer that already lies within. To listen to the voice of your heart, the knowledge of your experience, and the wisdom of your soul. Solitary pursuits can be favored, such as going on a retreat or meditating. The hermit's lantern can suggest enlightened thought. So this is also an excellent card for gaining knowledge and wisdom from external sources, whether in the form of a teacher or guide, education, or from research or fact gathering. It has a slow moving energy, so matters surrounding it can take time to mature, and a prudent approach is favored. However, reversed or challenging aspects can indicate a sense of isolation, a lack of maturity, not listening to good advice and guidance, or receiving unreliable information and bad advice. Alternatively, some see it as a rash behavior or emerging from seclusion to a more sociable period. So, card number three, path rewards. What is there to be gained if I do what I want? What are some positive results? The Five of Swords has came up for that question, and it represents no man is an island. So that's if I choose my way, I would be in the Five of Swords. Hold on, I gotta. Wet my mouth with an orange. The Five of Swords, no man is an island. Underhandedness, hidden agenda, hollow victory. Wow. A man poses with his sword aloft in a victorious gesture as he proudly displays four other swords as his trophy. The broken figures in the background show their defeat. His gain has been at the expense of their loss. The Five of Swords shows an element of deceit and may be at work. Someone is not being honest in their dealings, and there's usually some form of underhandedness with a hidden agenda going on in the background. Devious behaviors is highlighted, and it can represent something being taken or lost in an unfair manner. Death can be indicated, although not always a physical one. The Five of Swords holds a respectful edge and can warn of someone trying to take advantage of you or acting with malicious intent. As a dishonorable card that shows a lack of ethics and moral code, it advises care in all your dealings. The Five of Swords usually warns of something to guard against, but also reminds you to check your moral compass and all your undertakings, as something gained by unfair means would result in a hollow victory. So, reversed or challenging aspects can amplify the upright meaning to a larger degree, while some see the reverse card as moving beyond a defeat or loss. If the upright card is followed by challenging cards, it can warn of a difficult situation, gathering momentum, or treachery gaining a foothold. Okay, card number 4, Path 1, Consequences. What are some possible negative results of doing what I want? How do I inadvertently how do I inadvertently harm? The Ace of Swords. The pen is mightier than the sword. And I believe I read that already. Let me check. Yes, I read that already. But I will say the Ace of Swords is triumph over adversity and a fresh new start. However, reverse, guard against aggressive or vengeful behavior in the pursuit of your aims, as it can lead to defeat and failure. Card number 5, Path 2, Rewards. What is there to be gained if I do what they want? What are some positive results? The Knight of Wands. Act in haste. Regret at leisure. And I don't think I've read that before over here. No. Change of residence. If I do what they want, I'll get a change of residence, relocation, a long journey. The knight and his steed are fully bedecked in heraldic finery bearing the alchemical sign of the fire element, with wand held aloft. This fiery knight has a purposeful air as they venture forth on their quest. They seem unperturbed by an erupting volcano in the background, a reminder of the powerful force of fire together with the bold, adventurous spirit of the knight. All the knights suggest action and movement and represent some type of event, and the Knight of Wands is the main card to indicate a change of residence. It can also suggest a lot of movement within the home, such as a renovation or people moving in or out. In the workplace, it may bring relocation or different surroundings. Travel can be indicated, and it may suggest a long journey. As a combination of both aspects, it can sometimes represent immigration. So, if you decide to use the knight to represent a young person or character trait, then the Knight of Wands is excitable and energetic with youthful exuberance, bold and adventurous with ambitious ideas. They can be passionate, sociable, and outgoing, but also headstrong, impulsive, and rash. Reversed or challenging aspects can introduce interruptions and delays, a disruptive influence to the advancement of activities, representing a person or facet of personality. It highlights the less favorable character aspects and can also suggest aggressive tendencies, a devil may care attitude, or rowdy and roguish behavior. So I'll put that on note that tomorrow, which falls on the death card, but it's about change. I get my apartment inspected, and of course, it should be no problem. Let's see. Card number 6, path 2, consequences. What are some possible negative results of doing what they want? How do I inadvertently harm? Why they put harm? The Five of Cups, healing loss. And I haven't read that. It didn't come up in the reading. Mm. Seems like I'm going to be disappointed. Sadness and loss and grieving. Mm. Well, the tone of this card makes an immediate impact from the moody sky to the stance of the grieving warrior mourning the loss of the three overturned and spilt cups. They do not see the two upright cups behind him. And traditionally, the Five of Cups is the card of sadness and loss and shows that you may be experiencing feelings of disappointment and or regret. There's an element of sorrow, so it can represent the natural process of grieving and mourning that accompanies the impact of an emotional loss. While the three spilled cups indicate something that has been lost, the two upright cups show that something good still remains or will evolve out of the situation. And although it may not yet be evident in the present moment, it should become apparent at a later date. The nature of the five is usually temporary. In larger spreads, please check surrounding or following cards to see if the situation improves or how matters will progress. Reversed or challenging aspects, the Five of Cups reverse, can indicate healing and recovery from a situation that brought a heavy heart, but not a total reversal of the matter. If the upright Five of Cups is followed by a less favorable card, it would suggest that matters are escalated and can indicate a worsening situation. Okay, it is what it is. What can I do about it? So, card number 7 is balance. The question is balance. How do I find a middle path? What does the middle path look like? Well, of course, the Queen of Cups. Love is truth. Fear is illusion. And I've already read that. She's gentle natured. She's compassionate. Reverse, possible dependency issues and over reliance on others. So that's your middle path, to just stay compassionate. Card number 8 is advice. Act. Where can I put more effort? How can I best use my energy? What is the most beneficial use of my energy? And it says the Hangman, to step back and go forward. Life in limbo, suspension, lateral thinking, reassessment. A man with a serene expression hangs upside down, suspended in midair by chains attached to machinery with a symbol of the sun. The sun represents the external projection of the self to which he is tethered, but his position offers an altered perspective. The hangman can represent life in limbo, which may prompt you to reassess a situation in response. Life may seem to be in a period of suspension, but it offers the opportunity to look at matters from a different and fresh perspective, which may bring a possible solution through better understanding. So, in the readings, the aspect of suspension can create a delaying effect, which may be frustrating as it thwarts forward progress. And as the hangman is upside down, he views life from a from an altered perception, so it can suggest alternative and lateral thinking, taking an unconventional approach to think outside the box. Self sacrifice can be indicated. Sometimes we need to let go of something in the short term to gain something more beneficial in the long term. However, reversed or challenging aspects, a sense of victimhood, persecution complex, being closed minded or biased, abandoning independent thought and adopting a hive mind mentality for ease or acceptance. Historically, this pose was associated with baffling, a form of punishment, so in the right context, it can suggest an informant, a traitor, or a betrayal. Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, it does. Let me continue on because my informant, my traitor, my betrayal will be arriving pretty soon. I understand when they say keep the devil close and your enemies closer. So the devil is always close. You can get in that energy real quick. But when it comes to your enemies, of course you want to be away from their asses. But the saying says, keep your enemies close. I say I think that's a good thing because it teaches them who you are. Your enemies are just people that don't understand you. and they lack how to express that, so they go into the devil energy, the only energy they know to rely upon. And you can say that's a form of mental health needed to be addressed. So yeah, that's the Hangman. Okay, so the final card, but not the final read. Question number 9, card number 9 is advice. Retreat. Let me show you. What can I let go of? Where in my life is it better for me to step aside? And it's the Two of Swords. Why do today what I can put off till tomorrow? That's exactly what I'm doing. Putting off another reading, which is today's reading, for tomorrow. I'm going to always be one day behind because I go to school in the mornings, 9 to 5. So I have to rush and come home, shower, and get ready for bed and do my readings from yesterday, and then make sure I put the energy for today before midnight at that. So the Two of Swords I've already read, right? Why do today what you can put off till tomorrow. It's a stalemate, conflicting thoughts, analyst paralysis. Reverse, the Two of Swords in reverse may indicate being in denial and refusing to see. All right, so with that comes the Ten of Cups. Happily ever after. Emotional fulfillment, domestic bliss, marriage commitment. The setting provides a scene of serenity and domestic bliss, bringing the quiet enjoyment that comes through the fulfillment of emotional contentment. Just one moment. Let me plug up my tablet because I do want to go down a little bit of memory lane when I finish. So the Ten of Cups. Emotional fulfillment, domestic bliss, marriage commitment. The setting provides a scene of serenity and domestic bliss, bringing the quiet enjoyment that comes through the fulfillment of emotional contentment. 10 upright cups arch around a home and its occupants encompassing them within their emotive realm. The cups are suspended within a rainbow, a good omen symbol for peace and happiness. The 10 brings completion to the emotional suit of cups. It represents the ultimate for love and happiness with emotional fulfillment. It can indicate harmonious and contented love, and it may bring joy and lasting success to a relationship. However, the Ten of Cups can also represent a serious commitment being made in a relationship. So marriage may feature for some. For those seeking romance, it could suggest the potential for a serious love relationship to enter. The scene in this card is taken from the artistic perspective, as though returning from work to his home and family, and symbolizes the satisfaction of a peaceful and settled home life. The Ten of Cups is like the contented sigh of a happy heart, sated and fulfilled. Reversed or challenging aspects can indicate tensions within a marriage or family union and may warn to guard against complacency. Some see the reverse card as a loveless marriage or one of convenience. When the upright card is followed by less favorable cards, it may suggest emotional challenges to the relationship or family happiness. Justice. Do as you would be done by. Knight of Swords. Anger is the only thing improved by delay. And I believe I read that already. Let me check. I haven't. No, that was the Knight of Wands I read. So the Knight of Swords, anger is the only thing improved by delay. Events unfolding rapidly, swift and decisive action. Bedecked colors of the suit, the knight draws their sword ready for action. The shield the heraldry bears the alchemical sign for the air element. Their high vantage point provides a strategic advantage on their quest as a seeker of truth, suggesting lofty ideas. An eagle soars in the heavens, a symbol of honesty, truth, and wisdom. The Knight of Swords indicates a rapid pace, with events unfolding at such a speed it may feel quite chaotic. It brings a powerful force into play and can place you in a strong position. But you need to be ready to roll with a fast paced situation and take swift and decisive action as required. This card adds a turbo charge to events and is sure to get things moving. Anticipate a sense of urgency with a fast moving situation and have your running shoes on standby. If using the knight to represent a young person or facet of personality, then the Knight of Swords would be brave and courageous, honest and principled, and quick-witted with a serious demeanor. They can also be strong-willed, impatient, and aloof. Reverse the challenging aspects, dashing into things without care or planning, reckless behavior, or aggressively pursuing something for the sake of it without cause or principle. As a facet of character or a person, it can indicate someone who is hostile, aggressive, antagonistic, distant, or cold hearted. The Three of Wands. A bold onset is half the battle. Progress and expansion. Initial success. Trade and commerce. Two wands are set in the ground behind the merchant, suggesting he has successfully progressed on the journey. Progressed on the journey. Of earlier ambitions. He holds the third wand beside him as his attention remains fixed on future horizons, indicated by the ship setting sail from the harbor. We see a positive pattern of progression emerging, working with the potential from the ace and taking action to manifest the ideals of the two. And now the three brings completion of those first steps. Your initial goals have been realized, and whilst these have been successful, it's still the early days, so there's yet more work ahead. The Three of Wands brings progress with the early stages of success and a growing sense of confidence that accomplishments can bring, sufficient to feel assured to make forward plans for the future. Plans that you've been working on should start to come together and gain some momentum. and this can be in any area of life. This card can also represent all aspects of trade and commerce, particularly, I hear a dog barking. Dogs don't usually bark here in New York. They're very well trained. Plans that you've been working on should start to come together and gain some momentum, and this can be in any area of life. This card can also represent all aspects of trade and commerce, particularly a commercial business or venture, and it can bring growth, progress, and expansion to your plans. However, reversed or challenging aspects can indicate delays and setbacks leading to an inability to plan ahead. Matters are not progressing in the way you envisioned, so you may need to go back to the drawing board. Challenges with trade arrangements and difficulty for commercial endeavors. Oh my, here we go. The moon. Appearances can be deceptive. I've already read that card, didn't I? The Three of Pentacles. Fail to plan, plan to fail. Let's see. I don't think I read it. No. So I'll read it for the record. So after the Knight of Swords, anger is the only thing improved by delay. The Three of Pentacles. No, that was after the moon. Appearances may be deceptive. The Three of Pentacles. Fail to plan, plan to fail. Main occupation. Master of your craft, skilled work. The blacksmith is skilled in his endeavors and a master craftsman of his art. Surrounded by the tools of his trade in the workplace setting, he displays his wares with an expression of pride and satisfaction. The Three of Pentacles represents accomplishing a high standard of competency in your work. Having perfected the skills of your craft, others recognize your talents and capabilities, and you may be considered an expert in your field. And it can also represent work or you enjoyed or have a natural ability for. And if you have recently taken a new position, then you have the potential to shine in this particular field or role. Your work could come to the attention of others, and for some, it may bring appreciation through some form of recognition, especially if appearing together with the Six of Wands, which may suggest a formal award. You should feel a sense of satisfaction and achievement through your careful efforts to attain mastery of your craft, which brings gains with recognition. On a mundane level, it can highlight your main occupation. However, reversed or challenging aspects of Three of Pentacles reverse may show sloppy or bad workmanship, lacking fulfillment within your work, or feeling that your efforts are not being appreciated. Sometimes redundancy, loss of employment, or lack of work if in business or self-employed. The Star. Somewhere over the rainbow. I believe I read that too. Yeah. The Ten of Cups. I read that too. No, I don't see it. I don't see that I read it. So I'm going to have to read the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups, happily ever after. Emotional fulfillment, domestic bliss, marriage, and contentment. The setting provides a scene of serenity and domestic bliss, bringing the quiet enjoyment that comes through the fulfillment of emotional contentment. Ten upright cups arch around a home and its occupants, encompassing them within their emotive realm. The cups are suspended within a rainbow, a good omen symbol for peace and happiness. The 10 brings completion to the emotional suit of cups. It represents the ultimate for love and happiness with emotional fulfillment. It can indicate harmonious and contented love, and it may bring joy and lasting success to a situation, relationship. Sorry, my mind got diverted. The Ten of Cups can represent a serious commitment being made in a relationship, so marriage may feature for some. For those seeking romance, it could suggest the potential for a serious love relationship to enter. The scene in this card is taken from the artist's perspective, as though returning from work to his home and family, and symbolizes the satisfaction of a peaceful and settled home life. The Ten of Cups is like the contented sigh of a happy heart, satiated and fulfilled. I know I read this. Reversed or challenging aspects can indicate tensions within a marriage or family union and may warn to guard against complacency. Let me find this shit because I'm trying to get through this. I guess I'm just getting it mixed up with yesterday because it's not on here that I read it for this live. So, reversed or challenging aspects can indicate tensions within a marriage or family union, and it may warn to guard against complacency. Some see the reverse card as a loveless marriage or one of convenience. When the upright card is followed by less favorable cards, it may suggest emotional challenges to the relationship or family happiness. The Knight of Wands, act in haste, regret at leisure. The Ace of Swords, the pen is mightier than the sword. The Five of Swords, no man is an island. The last, and the Hermit, the quiet life. So that's the end of that reading. But let's go down to memory lane real quick. Hmm.
I keep an eye out for the numbers, I stay in contact, synchronization. To infinity, even beyond it, I am a form and no destination. A lot of things I am above, and there are a lot of things that are above me. Do not come for the people I love, cause then I get scary, then I get ugly, yeah. Ain't no problem when I'm the equation. Present, noted, observation. I'm not new here, reborn creation. Coming, fighting, standing, location. I will. I will pray. I will pray.
Oh man, I thought I should. That's what I want to read. So today at 1:36 p.m., the solar eclipse new moon would occur in the sign of Leo. The past couple of weeks while the moon has been waning, we've been in our releasing phase. Now is the time for planting new seeds to harvest in January 2027 during the full moon in Leo. Trigger dates for this eclipse is August 20th and November 3rd. So this reading was for Tuesday, the day of validation, justice, do as you would be done by.
I will praise thee. I, I will praise thee with my whole heart. I will praise thee with my whole heart. Before the gods will I sing praise unto thee. I will worship toward thy holy temple and praise thy name for thy loving kindness and for thy truth. For thou hast magnified thy word above all thy name. Yeah. Better do, better do. Ooh, yeah. I'm living for the moment, keeping it 100, blowing off my Monday blues. They come and go, and it's all in slow motion. I never need to go fast. Get out the way, cause I'ma be here moving slow. A happy Tuesday, this is a happy Tuesday. It feels like a happy Tuesday. It's a happy Tuesday. It's a happy Tuesday. Give me
We have our
everything you got.
ancestors.
I'm not taking no breaks, and I can't let my heart stop. When you let it go, it's so good when it hits the floor. When you let it go, you find a way to get more. Keep it moving. Oh, a happy Tuesday. This is a happy Tuesday. Tuesday feels like a happy Tuesday.
Your mate will either inspire you to grow into your greatness or they'll confine you to complacency.
I can have this moment for life. I can have this moment.
Okay, we're in the region with that.